There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Friday, February 22nd, 2019.
Commissioner Garcia, Cabello, James, and Davis are present. President James, we do have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Sanitation.
Farin Gonzalez, Bureau of Sanitation.
Richard Saragumbo, Street Lighting.
Yaling Tan, Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, John Olinger, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Eddie Ohanian, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we did not receive any speaker cards on general public comment. We also do not have any commentary under the Neighborhood Council comment section and no speaker cards on any of the items for today's agenda.
Okay, then we'll close general public comment as well as the Neighborhood Council category of commentary. Agenda item number 7 is an item that's being returned for signature. The mayor has approved and authorized the board on behalf of sanitation to execute a memorandum of agreement with South Bay City's Council of Governments and 8 other public agencies regarding the administration and cost sharing of implementing the Coordinated Integrated Monitoring Plan and coordinating the related tasks associated with the Enhanced Watershed Management Program for the Dominguez Channel Watershed Management Area. Is there a second to my motion that we approve agenda item number 7 forthwith? Like Commissioner Cabello, any objection? Without objection, we will do so. 1 second. Okay, agenda item number 5 is an authority for expenditure. Los Angeles County Tax Collector, Sanitation, and the Office of Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $43,000 to pay for funds to cover annual secured property taxes for the first and second installments for fiscal year 2018 and 19 for various sanitation properties. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. President, council members, Bureau reps. My name is Scott Hare. I'm with the Bureau of Sanitation. And yes, we're asking for approval of authority for expenditure to pay property taxes, first and second installments for Bureau of Sanitation properties for fiscal year 18-19.
And is it just, are we, Mr. Hare, sanitation experiences, I'm guessing like everybody else, kind of the standard incremental increase that happens every year?
Yes, we do get that.
Okay. Any questions? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 5, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 5. Any issues sending number 5 forthwith? Thank you, sir. Have a nice weekend. Agenda item number 1, Bureau of Engineering, Council Districts 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Revised task order solicitation. This is TOS number 38 for HNTB Corporation, recommending that the board authorize the city engineer to issue a revision of TOS number 38 to HNTB Corporation. This is increasing the budget authority from $5,923,616 to $9 million even for project management and design services, which includes contingency and reimbursable expenses. This is for the Complete Streets program. Mr. Edwards, welcome, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Gene Edwards, Bureau of Engineering. Yes, this is a request to fund revisions to the design of complete street projects and include the subtask of construction management. Of the 6 active projects in the Complete Streets program, 3 are in construction phase. They are the Roscoe Boulevard, Venice Boulevard, and Temple Street complete street projects. 1 is in the bid and award phase, which is the Main Street project, and the other 2, which are the largest projects, are undergoing revisions to their traffic safety scope, requiring revised appropriations approved by council. These are the Reseda Boulevard and Avalon Boulevard complete street projects. This revision in the task order will cover all designs and changes in scope of 5 of the 6 projects, excluding Avalon Boulevard. Construction costs for the revised scopes amounts to approximately $60 million, and so the increased task amount to $9 million, not to exceed $9 million, is approximately 15% of those construction costs, which is acceptable. The increase will not result in a reduction of the consultant's minority business enterprise and women business enterprise pledges. The consultant pledges a minority business enterprise of 17% and their women business enterprise pledges remains 5%. Did I say 17? 17 and 5?
17, yes. You did.
Yes. Funding for this task order increase is available in the SB1 funds and also Measure M accounts as listed in the board report. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Edwards on number 1? I don't have any questions. So Commissioner Davis has made a motion that we adopt agenda item number 1. I'll second it. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1. Thank you, Mr. Edwards.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend. Any issues sending number 1 forthwith? We will send number 1 forthwith. Agenda item number 2, Council District 14. Budget increase, secondary sewer renewal program, P19, Figueroa Street and Yosemite Drive, recommending that the board authorize $1,777,900 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $6,781,308 for the project. Ms. Thomas, welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning. Mary Thomas from Wastewater Conveyance Engineering Division, Bureau of Engineering, requesting the Board of Public Works to authorize $1,777,900 in additional contingency and approve a revised construction budget of $6,781,308 for the SSRP P19 Figueroa Street and Yosemite Drive project. Contract number C129306. The SSRP P19 project was awarded on May 23, 2017 to Ramona Incorporated for $4,765,150 with $238,000 in contingency. The total budget was $5,003,048. The scope of this project is to remove and replace or rehabilitate approximately 30,000 feet of secondary sewers. Pipe size is less than 16 inches in diameter. The project went to bid with 17,500 feet of the sewer out of the 30,000 feet with unknown condition. These sewers were to be televised as part of the contract. The assumption made during the design phase was 20% of the 17,000 feet will need repair. The reason for the 20% assumption is that historically, after the CCTV of each basin, we have been finding that 20% of the sewers were in need of repair. However, during construction, we are finding that the basins with difficult to access reaches, the repair percentages were much higher. For this particular project, it was around 40 to 60%. So based on the contractor's bid unit cost and the cost to repair the additional footage is estimated to be $1.128 million. In addition, we are anticipating a few future change orders in the amount of $678,000, and we have 3 fully executed change orders and 2 preliminary change orders for the amount of $208,000. So the total additional funds needed, deducting the current contingency, is $1,777,900. Therefore, staff recommend the board to approve this additional contingency and the new budget of $6,781,308. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thomas. Just to be clear for the oral record, as you indicated, the bid quantities are based on the assumption that 20% of the sewers would require repairs. But that assumption is not a guess, correct? That assumption is based on?
Based on the yield for each sewer basin, when we televise it, the yield has been 20% historically.
Right. Yes. Okay. Great. Thank you. I just wanted the oral record to reflect that. Any questions?
Yeah,
Commissioner Davis.
Yeah, just a point of understanding about the process. You said that there were, in fact, unknown conditions in terms of the sewer, correct?
Yes, yes.
And when we do an evaluation prior to assuming responsibility for the project, we evaluate it, and there is no way in which you can know about unforeseen circumstances that occur as you get deeper into the project. Is that the process that you encounter when doing this work?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if, in fact, through our protocols, maybe we had an oversight, but it's just that often there are unforeseen circumstances that present. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Anything else? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you.
Any issue, any objection, first of all? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We will send number 2 forthwith. Approval of the minutes, Friday, January 18th, 2019. Commissioner Cabello has seconded by motion that we approve those meeting minutes. Any objection? Without objection, those meeting minutes will be approved. Agenda item number 3, Council District 11. These are construction services contract, task order, solicitations, Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, cryogenic facility, cold box 1 and 2 improvements. Recommending that the board first authorize the city engineer to use the Cisco contract. And again, Cisco is not the company, it's an acronym for construction services. And to issue task work orders to the contractor for an amount not to exceed $2,750,000 for the HWRP cryogenic facility cold box 1 and 2 improvements project. And secondly, authorize the city engineer to sole source the Lindy team of qualified experts, it's either Lind or Lindy, I guess Ms. So will tell us, to accomplish the cold box improvements and for the final inspection of cold box numbers 1 and 2, engineered and manufactured by Lind. Ms. So.
Good morning, Amy So from the Bureau of Engineering's Environmental Engineering Division, and I'm here for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Cryogenic Facility Cold Box numbers 1 and 2 improvements. We're requesting authorization to utilize Cisco and to sole source the Linde Group. For reference, Cisco stands for Construction Services Contract, and it's a contract that's awarded to a competitively selected contractor. It's used for urgent necessity, wastewater, and environmental projects, and as tasks are identified, they're issued to the contractor. At Hyperion, there is actually a plant within the plant, and that's the cryogenic facility. The cryogenic facility produces pure oxygen for the secondary treatment process. The facility takes in compressed air from an adjacent facility. The air is filtered, and then it's routed to cold boxes. The facility has 3 cold boxes, and these are like giant refrigerators. They cool the air to approximately negative 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is cold enough so that the oxygen and nitrogen in the air can convert from a gaseous form to a liquid form. The liquid oxygen and nitrogen is stored at the facility in large tanks, and as the gas is needed, the liquid oxygen is vaporized and then used in the secondary treatment process. So the facility is about 24 years old, and it's due for major rehabilitation. This project is one project in a group of projects to rehabilitate the facility. There's a project that came first that's pretty near completion, and it's to replace pressure relief valves at the top of one of the liquid oxygen tanks and fix some corrosion and broken concrete. And then this project is primarily to inspect the inside of 2 of the cold boxes. And then there will be a future project of roughly $40 to $50 million that will be the major rehabilitation of the facility based on the inspection done under this project. So the scope of this project is to isolate the cold boxes one at a time, remove the insulation, make the inspection, and make any urgently needed repairs, put back new insulation, and remove the isolation barriers. The cost of the project is not to exceed $2.75 million, and the Linde Group was the original design engineer of the facility. The work is technically complex and it's very highly specialized. The Bureau of Sanitation requested that the Bureau of Engineering use Cisco to carry out this project, and doing so will enable the work to be carried out faster than under the conventional bid and award process. So therefore, the city engineer and the director of LA Sanitation recommends that the board authorize the use of Cisco and sole source the Linde Group for the inspection.
Thank you, Ms. So. Any questions?
I just wanted to ask.
Commissioner Davis.
So I realize that Cisco is a great tool for us operationally because it allows us to expedite finishing the project. What is the projected time that we'd like to implement the project here?
So this portion of the project is projected to take about 18 weeks.
I see.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. And Mr. Jordan, on the sole source justification that's in the board report and referenced briefly in Ms. So's presentation.
Yeah, I concur in the recommendation. We support it.
Great, thank you. Anything further? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 3, seconded by all 3 of my colleagues. That'll be the order on number 3. Thank you, Ms. So. Any issue sending number 3 forthwith? We will send number 3 forthwith. Agenda item, have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 4, revised task order solicitation number 50, Cordoba Corporation. Recommended that the board approve the revision of funding for task order solicitation number 50, that's 50. This is the sidewalk repair program access request acceleration project as described in the motion. Alice Kim, hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yep, I'm back. Good morning. I am Alice Kim with the Bureau of Engineering Sidewalk Division. I'm here before you for approval to revise the funding for task order solicitation TOS number 50 for the sidewalk repair program access request acceleration project. To give you a background, on December 7, 2018, the board adopted the TOS number 50 to Cordoba Corporation from the pre-qualified on-call civil design consulting list to provide design services support. At the time, to expedite starting the TOS and to have the consultant to start work immediately, we used the sidewalk repair program fundings. It was available. However, on January 1st, 2019, the $10 million of the Roadside Maintenance and Rehabilitation Program Special Fund, also known as the SB1 Fund, was made available. This was adopted as part of the fiscal year 2018-19 budget. So it is crucial that the revision be made to the funding source to ensure that BOE meets its fiscal year 2018-19 goal to utilize the SB1 funds, and also to that the SB1 fund expenditures are tracked accurately. Therefore, the sidewalk repair program is requesting to revise the funding source for TOS number 50 from Fund number 57F, Department 50, Appropriation Unit number 50, RVBN, to Fund number 59V, Department 50, Appropriation Unit number 50, RKHA, an amount of $575,000. This concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Cabello.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to be 100% clear, you're simply asking to revise the funding source, not the funding. It's from one pot to another.
Correct.
Okay, just wanted that clarity. Thank you.
And welcoming the SB1 funding to the program, so which we're happy to have. Thank you, Commissioner Cabello. Anything further? I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 4, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice weekend. Any issue sending number 4 forthwith? We will send number 4 forthwith. That takes us to agenda item number 6, right-of-way encroachments and permitting process. This is a motion from myself and Commissioner Cabello recommending that the board direct the Bureau of Engineering and Street Services to review and draft, this is number 1, to review and draft updated permitting criteria and guidelines to clarify the requirements for right-of-way encroachments and make the process clearer and more transparent while ensuring the safety, convenience, and access for everyone on the city's rights of way. Secondly, direct engineering to establish a working, direct engineering in consultation with the Mayor's Office, City Council, the LAPD, Street Services, and City Attorney's Office to review any revisions to the permitting criteria and guidelines. You'll see there, Dr. Campos, an oral amendment that I just made to number 2. So the motion will be as amended. Number 3, direct Street Services to, within 90 days of the board adopting any revisions, to identify and notify owners of unpermitted installations to apply for a revocable permit. Secondly, review new revocable permit applications for unpermitted installations. And third, inspect all remaining unpermitted locations and take the appropriate action, including removal or replacement with trees or vegetation. And fourth, instruct engineering and street services to report back on the first 2 instructed items in the motion in 30 days. Just a few notes, colleagues. So, as the board is aware, we have a growing number of unpermitted installations in the city's public right-of-way. Unpermitted installations, and the ones that have received the most notoriety in the press have been generally planter boxes or, in some instances, some fencing that has been placed on a portion of a sidewalk to provide a delta, if you will, between building space and people on the sidewalk. Unpermitted installations in the public right-of-way can create significant safety issues for pedestrians due to decreased available sidewalk space. The purpose of requiring permits for building materials or revocable uses of the sidewalk is to ensure public convenience and necessity, public health, safety, welfare, and to minimize the disruption of normal pedestrian pathways while ensuring compliance, which we always have to do, with the Americans with Disabilities Act. The city's existing process for revocable permits normally requires appropriate insurance coverage to reduce the city's liability, waiver of damage to hold the city harmless, and other maintenance agreements and permits. That's part of the permitting process, of course. The Bureau of Street Services is tasked with enforcing accessibility laws and related to pedestrian safety on city sidewalks. Currently, the safety in some places is being challenged by the request to install construction fencing, as I mentioned, planters, and other obstructions in the public right-of-way to prevent access to sidewalk areas in front of businesses, residents, or other locations. Therefore, our board is endeavoring to make the process clearer and more transparent, including reviewing the permitting criteria so that any right-of-way installations, no matter the type or location, are legally permitted going forward to ensure the safety, convenience, and accessibility for all Angelenos. So, what we are seeing is in some, and by the way, we have Chief Gary Harris and David Rivera, both from Street Services, that are here if we have any questions for Street Services. And Ms. Martine, are you here on this one as well? Oh, you're not, okay. On engineering, what's it? Oh, okay, thank you. So we have some instances in the city that where we can likely provide permits in our public right-of-way that still allows for the required accessibility for pedestrians and the like on the sidewalks. What we need is a uniform process and procedure to locate those areas and to provide a permit that everyone has equal access to apply for. So this is a collaboration. Commissioner Cabello, along with myself and Ted Jordan in the City Attorney's Office, as well as Street Services and Engineering and the Mayor's Office, as well as the LAPD, and at least one council office, Council District 11. And that collaboration has resulted in this motion. Before I open the floor, I want to thank Jennifer Pope in the Mayor's Office, Ted Jordan in the City Attorney's Office, and Commissioner Cabello for the drafting of the motion. And with that, I'll open the floor. Commissioner Cabello? Oh, okay. David, do you or Gary want to add anything? I don't know. Here's my only issue for you guys. I want to make sure that you have, we can only ask you to do what you are funded for. And we know that as we bring this motion. Really what we're trying to do is create some guidelines, as the motion says, some transparency and some uniformity for our business community and other stakeholders in the city. So we don't kind of have this Wild West approach to our public right-of-way in this area. That's what we're working on here. Thank you, Mr. Harris, Chief Harris, for being here, and David as well. Any other questions?
I have one question.
Commissioner Garcia.
Just to clarify, who would be now the entity or the department that will be providing or giving the R permits?
So if I understand correctly, the R permit, the revocable permit, would still come from engineering.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
But BSS would enforce it?
Well, we currently enforce
Okay.
all the public right-of-way ordinances.
That stays the same.
but we work with our partners in the Bureau of Engineering on the permitting aspects.
So what's changing?
So what's changing is the consultation with the mayor's office, city council, LAPD, street service, and city attorney's office to review any revisions that are going to come out of this consulting working group, if you will.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Here.
Great. Thank you.
And if I could add, I think,
Yes.
Commissioner, one of the most important aspects of this, it'll give us a consistent policy across the board between bureaus and citywide in all areas that we can apply to these types of installation as we expect that this type of activity may grow in the city, as it's started here primarily in the downtown area and the Venice area, but obviously as we see it expanding, then with this new set of rules and cooperation between all of us, we can apply this before it becomes that type of problems in other areas of the city. So we look forward to working closely with engineering, with LAPD, with the mayor's office, and all the other concerned agencies to start this project.
Great, thank you, Gary. And I'll just mention that because I've received some of these requests from businesses or from representatives from the businesses wanting to follow the city rules, but not really sure where to go or what to do. And so that's what this motion is asking for our team to create. Great, thank you. Then that's the motion. It's been seconded by Commissioner Cabello. Thank you, guys. And approved by Commissioners Davis and Garcia. So that'll be the order on agenda item number 6. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send it forthwith. Thank you for, that's as amended, by the way. And thank you for the amendment, Mr. Jordan, and I'll give you a copy of the amendment, Dr. Campos. We're clear of everything but our adjourning motion, correct?
We do have an oral report scheduled for Recicla LA as well before the
Did I
adjournment
miss it?
motion.
Oh, I did. We have an oral report, Recicla, on sanitation. Well, we've lived with Recicla a lot
Then I
this
guess
week.
we have cleared the desk.
We can just reschedule that, yeah. They've put in their time in City Hall this week. Let's go to our adjourning motion, Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, President James. I am sadly here to present another adjourning motion for today, and this is from our department, our Bureau of Engineering. James Tibet unexpectedly passed away on November 21st, 2018 in Brookhaven, Mississippi. As an environment specialist too, James worked with the Bureau of Engineering on numerous city projects. During his career with BOE, his co-workers knew him to be punctual and diligent in quickly completing tasks. He was always willing to assist his fellow employees, sharing his knowledge and experience, often inserting a military story here and there. James worked in BOE's Environmental Management Group for 6 years, and he will be sorely missed. He was a long-time Civil War reenactor and is survived by 2 of his sisters. And also, we also here have some of his colleagues that deeply worked with him for many years. So in acknowledgement to James Tibet, thank you for being here. And it's a very sad time with Bureau Engineering again. So thank you. Have a good weekend, though.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia, and we will adjourn in James's honor.